dystopian futures, intrepid hackers, and crazy hair.
Dark and grubby, but somehow familiar.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 Cyberpunk video games.
Good ones and the bad.
For this list, we're counting down the top 10 video games taking place in cyberpunk settings. For the sake of this video, we used the official definition of cyberpunk, a genre of science fiction set in a lawless subculture of an oppressive society dominated by computer technology.
Yeah, that's right.
Number 10, Anachronox.
Whoa. Okay.
A relative rarity at the time, Anachronox is a Japanese-style turn-based RPG that was created for the PC by a Western developer.
I'm just waiting for business to pick up. What's with the attitude?
That was pretty novel, because at the time, the lines were pretty clearly drawn. Turn-based RPGs belonged to consoles, and Western RPGs belonged to PC. Trying to break this mold, Anachronox is a sci-fi RPG with a real sense of humor. You're not controlling all-powerful warriors, you're controlling a ragtag band of has-beens and losers, headed by Sly Boots, a past-his-prime detective.
Hit me.
Hasn't there been enough of that?
Have a heart.
With fun combat and a hilarious cyberpunk-infused story, Anachronox is a hidden RPG gem.
Let's get some breakfast.
Number 9, Watch Dogs.
You got a nasty security system.
The hype for Ubisoft's action-adventure was through the roof. Watch Dogs was supposed to be the first game to truly showcase the power of next-gen consoles.
I can't help you. I'm gonna go.
While this may not have been the case, it was still a worthy sandbox with some really strong cyberpunk themes.
All right, let's do it.
Back in.
For example, Aiden Pierce's main weapon is a hallmark of cyberpunk fiction, the ability to hack and manipulate the world around him. The ability to access an almost endless stream of information in a super-connected near-future Chicago is pretty neat, and the mayhem you can cause is definitely exciting. Number 8, Snatcher.
Jeez, my ears are really ringing.
Before releasing the critically acclaimed Metal Gear Solid games, Hideo Kojima developed a little-known cyberpunk adventure game that drew inspiration from such classics as Blade Runner and Terminator.
I am Metal Gear Mach 2. I am programmed to be your personal assistant.
Though those influences are pretty obvious on the surface, Snatcher does an amazing job of combining them all and creating one of the most memorable and well-written stories in the history of gaming.
Snatcher is the only word that keeps coming back every time we try to remember our past.
Basically an interactive novel, Snatcher also includes some relatively primitive action sequences, but the real star here is the great writing, interesting characters, and beautiful anime sprites and world.
Well, what do you think, Gillian?
I'll take it.
Number 7, Syndicate. In a fictional universe that actually seems to parallel our current state of affairs pretty closely, the world of Syndicate is controlled by all-powerful private corporations and companies. These corporations employ armies, known as syndicates, of cybernetically enhanced super soldiers to maintain their strangleholds over the population and to engage in warfare with rival companies. Syndicate mixes this engaging premise and story with fun tactical combat and cool customization. Although the recent reboot completely did away with any and all tactical elements, a spiritual successor entitled Satellite Reign is making its way through Steam Early Access with the help of a successful Kickstarter campaign. Number 6, Flashback. What's worse than being trapped on a mysterious and dangerous alien planet? How about getting your entire memory erased first? That's the plight of Conrad Hart, an intergalactic agent who finds himself in the atmospheric platforming adventure game Flashback. Conrad must slowly regain his memory while thwarting the plans of an evil alien race known as the Morphs, who plan to invade Earth. The graphics, atmosphere, and style in Flashback are all amazing, even by today's standards, and though the gameplay can be a bit glitchy, this is a true sci-fi gaming classic. Number 5, Perfect Dark.
Good luck, Dr. Dark.
It was a tough task to follow in the footsteps of the all-time classic FPS, GoldenEye, but Rare managed to do so successfully while weaving their own intricate cyberpunk universe and storyline.
We have a contingency plan ready to go.
Perfect Dark follows Joanna Dark, a secret agent tasked with infiltrating the mega corporation Datadyne and uncovering an evil plot involving advanced technologies and alien cover-ups.
There has to be someone further inside. Cover me.
Perfect Dark expands amazingly on GoldenEye, with cool graphics, a sprawling storyline, a huge assortment of intense weaponry, and perhaps most importantly, a robust multiplayer mode. Number 4. System Shock.
I re-examine my priorities and draw new conclusions.
In the early 90s, developers were desperately trying to cash in on the runaway success of legends like Doom and Wolfenstein, leading to dozens of uninspired carbon copy clones. Then System Shock came out.
Hacker begins unauthorized entry into the Tri-Optimum corporate network.
Combining the best elements of RPGs, first-person shooters, and narrative-driven adventure games, System Shock was groundbreaking.
You will learn more about pain than you ever wanted to know.
The game follows a hacker who must stop the artificial intelligence known as Shodan, which has taken over a space station and mutated its inhabitants.
Who are you?
With tense, scary atmosphere and a cool story, System Shock is a memorable, if challenging, cyberpunk experience. Number 3. Blade Runner.
Hallelujah.
Don't get too excited. The other Blade Runners are all jammed up.
Pretty much every single piece of cyberpunk fiction, whether it's in film or gaming, can trace its influences back to the iconic Blade Runner film released in 1982. The film's influence is vast, but perhaps nowhere is it more obvious than 1997's Blade Runner adventure game. Following Ray McCoy, a rookie Blade Runner on the trail of several rogue replicants, Blade Runner the game does an amazing job of capturing the atmosphere and the feel of the legendary film, while incorporating new dynamics and ideas that allow it to stand on its own as an adventure game classic.
What impresses me are people who know what they want and are not afraid to pay for it.
Number 2. Shadowrun. Based on a pen and paper RPG by the same name, Shadowrun was one of the first truly gritty and memorable cyberpunk experiences for home consoles. The Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo versions are both solid, but the Genesis one is definitely better.
Active alert.
Shadowrun was one of the first open-world games, allowing you to explore a dystopian Seattle while upgrading your protagonist, amassing wealth, and slowly unraveling the mystery of your brother's death. A game that was way ahead of its time. The Shadowrun name lives on thanks to, you'll never guess, a successful Kickstarter campaign, which produced Shadowrun Returns and its standalone spin-off, Shadowrun Dragonfall. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Post memory wiped. Sensen awaiting new memorial content.
Am I losing my mind?
Number 1. Deus Ex.
I'll take the accuracy mod for $7.50.
As one of the greatest games ever made, it makes sense that Deus Ex would top the list of the best cyberpunk games.
My brother and I suspected as much while we were growing up.
The newest entry, Human Revolution, is an awesome modern experience, but it still doesn't stand up to the original, which blended an intricate, complicated storyline with some of the deepest non-linear freeform gameplay we've ever seen.
In other words, I'll owe you a favor.
The freedom to choose how you want to approach a mission was groundbreaking, especially now that another decade has gone by and we're still trying to top it.
You underestimate humankind's love of freedom.
J.C. Denton might be one of the most wooden protagonists of all time, but leading him through a bleak, dystopian future is still an unforgettable experience.
Oh my god, J.C., a bomb!
A bomb!
Do you agree with our list?
What did you say?
Did we forget any awesome cyberpunk classics? For more mainframe hackin' top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
I need you, and you need me. It's that simple.